بعد. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the earth, this is before any mountains were put on it, it was wobbling. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then planted mountains on top of it to stabilize it. Just like how when the tire of a car is imbalanced, then they add these little weights on different parts of it so that the tire rolls smoothly. Just like that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strategically planted these mountains as weights all around the earth to stabilize it and to even out its weight. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put those mountains on it, the angels who were watching, they were amazed. They were amazed at how powerful these mountains were, that they could stabilize this massive planet. فَعَجِبَتِ الْمَلَائِكَةُ مِنْ شِدَّةِ الْجِبَالِ فَقَالُوا يَا رَبِّ. They asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, هَلْ مِنْ خَلْقِكَ شَيْءٌ أَشَدُّ مِنَ الْجِبَالِ. Oh Allah, is there something in your treasures, in your creations, that's even more powerful than the mountains? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Naam, al-hadid. Yes, steel. Steel is more powerful than the mountains, because with steel, you can actually carve through the mountains. So the angels were surprised and amazed, and they said, هَلْ مِنْ خَلْقِكَ شَيْءٌ أَشَدُّ مِنَ الْحَدِيدِ. Is there something even more powerful than steel? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, yes, fire. Because with fire you can melt the steel that you use to break the mountains. So the angels were more amazed. They said, oh Allah, is there something in your creations more powerful than fire? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Naam, al-ma, yes, water. When you pour water over the fire, water extinguishes the fire that can melt the steel that breaks the mountains. So angels were even more amazed. They said, oh Allah, is there something in your creations even more powerful than water? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Naam ar-rih, yes, winds. Like you see these winds as they were blowing, so strong. They can move just about anything. And they can pick up water and throw it around. They can create big walls of water. These winds, when they blow, the monsoons and the hurricanes and the tornadoes and the tsunamis, these are all effects of winds effectively. And they can wreak immense damage. So the angels were even more amazed. Then they said, oh Allah, is there something in your treasures that's even more powerful than wind? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, yes, there's one thing that's more powerful than all of these things. Ibn Adam تصدق بصدقة بيمينه فأخفاها من شماله. When a human being does an act of charity, when a human being does an act of charity so sincerely and so secretly, purely for the sake of pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they're doing it in such a way that no one knows about it, because they don't want their intention to be affected. They don't want there to be an intention of showing off. They're so sincere. They do it so secretly, the hadith says that if they give with their right hand, even their left hand doesn't know about it. Meaning even the people closest to them aren't aware of it. So that amal, the act that is done with ikhlas, with sincerity, is more powerful than all the natural elements. So the actions of the human beings are in fact more powerful than the elements we see around us. That's why when the Prophet ﷺ once was traveling with Uqba ibn Amir radiallahu anhu, and all of a sudden this massive gust of wind and dark clouds just covered them. They couldn't see anything, and they were just lost kind of in this storm of wind and darkness. The Prophet ﷺ started reciting Surah Falaq and Surah Nas. And he told Uqba radiallahu anhu, you should also recite this, because this is the most powerful thing you can use for protection. What does that mean? It means that there could be some wild natural elements outside, but your act, your amal of reciting these surahs, if you do it properly with the right intention, with the right yaqeen, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can protect me through this, Allah azza wa jal will save you in those harsh elements. When the wind used to blow, the Prophet ﷺ used to recite prayers. In some hadiths is mentioned, when the weather would change suddenly, Nabi ﷺ would go to salat, go to the masjid and start praying salat. So these are the acts of the human being that can actually change the environment. So one of our jobs as a Muslim is not just to observe what's happening around us. Everyone can see what's happening around us. But what do I need to do in this circumstance? What do I need to do? And what can I do to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in these circumstances? What did the Prophet ﷺ do in those circumstances? If I can start following that, then no matter what the conditions are, as long as I'm doing what